Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun is at the center of a heated debate over his tenure. The Police Service Commission clarified that it has no constitutional powers over the IGP's retirement, but new legal arguments suggest that the amendment to the Police Act might not be enough to extend his stay in office. A legal practitioner and secretary of the Association of Legislative Drafting and Advocacy Practitioners, Dr. Tonye Clinton Jaja, has called out the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, saying that only a constitutional amendment and not an act of parliament can lawfully extend the IGP's tenure. This had sparked concerns over whether the rule of law is partial in this regard.
President Bala appointed Egbetokun as the IGP in June 2023 for 4 years. He was 59 years old at the time. Public service rules mandate retirement at 60 years of age or after 35 years of service, whichever comes first. Egbetokun turned 60 in September 2024, causing many Nigerians to speak up against his continuous stay in office. It's a lot of confusion as to what the true position and the legal interpretation of, the new amendments means. But joining us is a legal practitioner and the chairman of Access to Justice Committee, African Bar Association, Sonny Ekwowusi. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here this morning.
All right. I would like you to maybe help us with some clarification as to what the legal position is. There's been an amendment. We're not certain, they say 60 years of age, 35 years of service, whichever comes first. So it's a lot of confusion that's happening. We'd like you to share with us, the legal interpretation of what should be.
Well, the legal position has been initiated by the 1999 Constitution, specifically section 215, which states that the Attorney General of the Federation shall be appointed by the President and on the advice of the Nigerian Police Command. That's the Nigerian Police Command. And also, we also have to look at section 214 of the Constitution, which says that the position, the section 215 of the Constitution shall also be interpreted alongside section 214 in the sense that the Constitution has given the power to the National Assembly to make provision, to make laws that will guide the functions of the Inspector General of Police. And the controversy about the tenure extension or no tenure extension, it has been resolved by Section 7 of the Police Act, which is the Act of National Assembly, to the fact that the tenure of the Inspector General of Police shall be 4 years. And as we know very well, this Inspector General of Police was appointed 2023, and that his tenure is still running. And Section 7 of the Police Command says that irrespective of the retirement age of the Inspector General of Police, he shall continue to function until tenure ends by virtue of Section 7. And the National Assembly has recently, by virtue of Section 215, amended the Police Act to the fact that the tenure of the Inspector General of Police shall remains within 4 years. That his tenure remains 4 years, and irrespective of the fact that he has passed the retirement age and so on and so forth. So I think the Constitution, the controversy should be resolved by looking at the law. I'm talking about the Constitution now, and Section 7 and Section 8 as amended by the National Assembly of the Police Act to the fact that the tenure is 4 years, and that tenure started in 2023 and shall end at the expiration of 4 years. That is the position of the law, as far as I'm concerned. So the issue of tenure extension really does not come in there, because I don't think that the president has extended his tenure. Just to clarify that, look, his tenure is still running, and it will end at the expiration of 4 years.
And then at the discretion of the president, if he chooses to have him as the Inspector General of Police. Now, you've mentioned quite a lot of things, but there are also lawyers that have argued differently and said the Supreme Court ruling of the Attorney General of Bendel State versus Attorney General of the Federation in 1982 holds that any law contradicting the Constitution is null and void. So we have a situation here, the Public Service Rule and Police Act. Do we need to test these laws and make it go all the way to the Supreme Court so we have a landmark ruling and just to put this case to an end? Because the arguments will not stop from both sides.
Yes, I think that any further, to avoid the controversy and the argument, I think there's need to make a further amendment to the Police Act, to spell it in so that it is spelled out without any doubt what it's all about, what the tenure is all about, and so on and so forth. But as of now, the Constitution and the Act, still prevail, and there's no controversy. There's no conflict between the Act and the Constitution, because the Constitution did not provide for tenure. The Constitution just says that the Inspector General of Police shall be appointed by the President. But the Act has stated that tenure is 4 years. I think there should be need for further amendment to the Act, so that this controversy will stop. So that the argument is, it should be spelled out in such a way that it should not admit of any controversy. In the sense that, look, the tenure is 4 years, irrespective of the retirement age of the Inspector General of Police. So I think it should be spelled out without any ambiguity.
I'm glad that you spoke to that, because that was going to be my next question, to ask you if you think or if you thought that there should be further amendments to the Act. But also, you've confirmed that you think there should be further amendment. What other measures do you think should be put in place to ensure that we do not have such controversies in the future?
Yes, I think it's just a question of amending the Act, and then probably that is it. If the Act is amended in such a way that there are no ambiguities, it's crystal clear. I think that's the greatest measure I think that should be put in place. And there's no other, because if you are talking about constitutional amendment, it takes a long time. In fact, that should be the basic, the more important amendment, because the constitution is the spirit law of the land, so that if it's amended, to provide for the tenure, so that there will be no controversy regarding the tenure of Inspector General of Police. But as you know very well, the constitutional amendment takes a long time, and the provisions made by the National Assembly is faster. So one can also say that the National Assembly could make more amendments to the Police Act, and then in the appropriate time, the Constitution should be amended to provide for the tenure of the Inspector General of Police.
Now, Barrister Kosi, let's talk about the Nigerian Police Service Commission, another commission that was created by an act of Parliament. The Police Service Commission recently approved the retirement of 60 of senior police officers over the age of 60, but it also states that it has no power over the IGP's tenure. Is the IGP not a member of the Nigerian police? And also, does this indicate internal contradictions within the Nigerian policing framework? Because on one hand, you just approved the retirement of senior police officers that cross the age of 60, and you're still saying that you don't have jurisdiction over the tenure of the Nigerian Police Inspector General. It's not a contradiction in itself.
Can you come back with the question? I didn't get it, please.
Now, I said the Police Service Commission recently approved the retirement of police officers that cross the age of 60. But it also said that, look, we don't have the powers over the tenure of the Inspector General of Police. Does this not indicate internal contradictions within the Nigerian policing framework?
Well, I think that the president also, specifically appointed Inspector General of Police, and in a letter stating that his tenure is 4 years. And if you look at the Constitution, the president appoints, and that is really, the power, appoint by virtue of that appointment, the tenure still remains, in that way that it remains to be, 4 years backed up by the provisions in the Police Act. I think that letter, that appointment, holds a lot of weight to the fact that the tenure of General of Police is 4 years. I don't see any other confusion about it.
Okay, I think now the question will be, what is the way forward? There have been calls for the IGP to step down. The Attorney General of the Federation has, of course, clarified. According to him, he's given reasons why there is no form of illegality going on here. But how do you suggest, maybe, that this matter be handled by the police?
Well, I think that there's need to exclude all political considerations. The matter is being politicized. Most of the people who are calling for the resignation of the police IGP to step down are saying so because they feel that the way he handled the end bad governance. Yes, end governance was not satisfactory, and that they are saying that IGP is incompetent, and so he should step down. I think without, we should, if you remove all the political considerations and all that, if you remove all the politicization behind it, which is fueled by one political party, and who are saying that, look, they're also quarreling that the intention of Show is illegal, that it should be released, and all that and all that. I think that, one way, in my own view, is to probably to consider, the issue of the release of Show, because I think that's the source of the problem, of the complaint. The members of this party are saying that, look, he ought not to be in detention by now, he should be released. And besides that, the Inspector General of Police is incompetent, he should resign, and so on and so forth. I think one way of actually going is to probably consider whether, that detention of Show is a proper, whether he should still be in detention now, or whether, as the rule of law provides, that should be granted bail, so on and so forth. I think that's the way of. And also, if the Inspector General of Police can also, improve the criminal justice system in Nigeria, which we know very well is very appalling, and then that is actually making people to canvass all these views that he should resign and no need to detention and all that, because they feel that, look, things are not going well. That things are not properly handled. And in my own view, I agree that the Nigerian criminal justice system should be reformed. We have been saying this over the years, and nothing has happened. And in this administration, we have not seen more change in the criminal justice delivery, and that's why people are detained and they are not given, their freedom is not guaranteed, or they are not released, and so on and so forth. I think that's the source of the problem, that, look, people are detained and they are not taken to court, they are not granted bail, So,
all right. It does seem that there's a connection glitch there with Mr. Tonye Clinton, but it's been quite the conversation we've had this morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Tonye Clinton, for joining us to have the conversation about the potential or likelihood of the extension of the IGP's tenure. Thank you for your time with us this morning. I guess in the coming days, we'll exactly see what will play out. If he would step down, you said they should stop politicizing it, and I'm sure that they're listening and we can see how this will turn out. Thank you for your time with us this morning.